Hello people and welcome back to John Sheppard Fitness. Today is the first video of 2021 and I'm going to be telling you my actual goals for 2021, what I'm planning on doing, what I'm planning on achieving in life, business and obviously fitness. Obviously 2020 was a disaster for not just me but for probably everybody in the country, in the world. You know, everybody had plans to do something and it all got cancelled. Last year my main objective was to compete at Body Power and obviously it didn't happen. So throughout this video I'm going to be talking about what actually I've got planned for this year. I've also done a Q&A and answering some people's questions which I asked over Instagram, and I will be going through them while I tell you my actual goals for this year. So then to my first question from Dan Griffin 12. Am I staying natty or not? Well, I am actually going to be staying natty for most of this year. I don't think I am going to go on any sort of substance. So I was going to be going on TRT, but obviously the gyms opening, closing, you know, shutting all the time. I can't really justify going on something like that if I haven't got a proper gym to work out on. The reason is because obviously you pay for this substance. If I'm going to do it if I start doing it and then the gyms close, then I won't be using the stuff to its potential. So I'm not going to risk it while the situation is still very, very dodgy. I mean, I am at the moment in tier 3. I'm one of the lucky ones, so gyms are still open, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be tier 4 in the next couple of weeks.
Hello, people.
So my goals for 2021. First of all is life. What I really want to do this year in life is I want to be a lot more happier. I'm a bit of a negative person, not like in miserable, but I don't sort of think of the positives of most things. I always think of the negatives. So if it doesn't happen, I don't feel downhearted, you know, and then if it does happen, I get overexcited. I need to be a bit more positive, you know, not so down about everything. I think sometimes being like that can start things off on the wrong way, and they need to be like, you need to look at the brighter side of life a bit more. You know, you're hitting 40 this year and you know I ain't got many years left in me, so I want to enjoy them as much as I can. Obviously I've got my son, I want to enjoy life as much as I can with him. Hopefully the whole situation will be finished by the summer, so when it's nice weather I could do a lot more actual things with my son. Also I'll get my license back as well in a few months time, so gummy. Obviously I want to just be more.
See the foot I can.
Obviously I'm going to beat this little kid up in a minute if he doesn't stop interrupting me. You moron.
No, I'm not.
Obviously, yeah, I just want to be more happier in life and yeah, succeed in what I actually do. Next question is from CJ Fitness 97, and he asks, what are my favourite Instagram pages? Well, I think Instagram's a lot different from YouTube. I do like YouTube and I do like Instagram, but I think some people are better on Instagram compared to YouTube and vice versa. I've got a couple really who are not so big on YouTube, but obviously I do like the training aspect on Instagram. They sort of like show regular actual updates. AJ Morris, by far, I do like all his content on there. You know, it's more realistic, if you know what I mean. You know, it's more day-to-day life. You know, he's not trying to gloss over with fancy stuff on Instagram. You know what you get. So AJ Morris is one of my actual favourites, just because it's it feels like he's just a normal, down-to-earth person. You know, what he explains in his workouts, he shows how he trains himself, but what he does, he says. I've seen some of the people he's coached and they're absolutely awesome.
It stinks in here. It stinks.
Control your breath.
Other people who I follow on Instagram, I do follow on YouTube, because most people who've got Instagram have got YouTube. But yeah, go and check him out if you actually wanted to look for some more experience in training. So as we're talking about Instagram and YouTube, that is one of my actual goals this year. Instagram is a hard one to crack, I think. You can get more followers on YouTube because people want to actually follow you for sub to sub, and which I don't do because it's silly. I would like to get that 10,000 followers so you can just scroll up, but I doubt I could do that unless something happens good this year. You know, I might actually do some promotion because you can actually pay to actually advertise your stuff. Don't know yet. If anybody actually has done that and it's worked for them, let me know. But with YouTube, I definitely want to be monetized this year. You know I'm not going to earn much from it, but you know, if it's an extra 10 quid a month, you know, that 10 quid is, you know, just something, you know, it's better than nothing, you know. And yeah, monetizing on YouTube is probably my main goal for YouTube and, you know, social media this year. So my next goal for 2021 is actually bodybuilding. You know, I want to compete. It's one thing that I need and want to do. You know, obviously from last year when it all got cancelled, and yeah, I officially will be competing this year. I do not know when. I don't know in what category, and I do not know what actual federation. I've got a new coach. I obviously want to do this properly, so I've got myself a coach, and that is AJ Morris. If you don't know who he is, obviously he's somebody who inspires me. He's a natural bodybuilder himself, and he has coached numerous people who I actually follow as well, who have improved immensely over just the couple of years that he's been coaching them. And I said to myself, right, if I want to do this and I want to do it right and properly, I need a good coach. I need somebody who I can trust and who I've seen good results, and not just gonna want to take my money, because obviously I don't earn lots, and the money I will be going into it, I want to make sure that it's going into somebody that will help me all the way. And yeah, training starts in a couple of weeks time, so I'm quite excited about that. Like I said, I don't know what show I will be attending or going into, and I don't actually know what category I am going to go into, you know, so keep up to date. Obviously subscribe, you know, to me, and just follow me, and obviously I'll show you the progress of what I do in my bodybuilding career. You know, don't know if I'm going to take it further than just one show. It depends on what the show is like, I suppose, but you never know. You know, it's something that I had a goal for last year, and obviously it got cancelled, so this is mainly my number one goal this year, is to compete in a show. But another question that was gave to me on Instagram was, who is my favourite bodybuilder? And it has to be only one person. If I look at people and to say, wow, I want to be like that, it has to be C-Bum. Has got probably the best physique I have seen in a long time. For such a big guy to have so much muscle, so streamlined, so he doesn't look skinny as well, it is a hard thing to do. And yeah, by far he's my favourite bodybuilder, you know. And his followers and YouTubes don't give him justice, because he doesn't have as many as all these other ones, and he has got he's got a better body than anybody else on social media. So I've just got back in, and I'm just going to go through the rest of the Instagram questions. Most of my life goals this year are pretty much based on the bodybuilding. The one other thing that I do want to sort of progress in is work. I want to get a better job, basically. I want to get something where I'm earning a lot more money. Where work is, it's okay. It's okay for my sort of hours, if you know what I mean, around my son, because obviously I have my son half a week, so it's quite good for that. But it's just not paying enough. It's really hard, you know. It's not regular income where I can't progress in life in anything. I can't really plan stuff and do stuff because hours change every week, you know, depending on how busy the place is. Sometimes I can work 20 hours a week, sometimes I can work 30 hours or more, and I need a bit more consistency. One thing I do like is consistency. You know, if you're gonna do something good or get somewhere in life, you need consistency. You can't keep on chopping and changing. I suppose that's why the pandemic's such an annoying thing, because things are opening up, things are closing down. But I'm gonna finish off the rest of the video with the questions that I've been asked, and one is from Chris Fit UK. How many McDonald's double cheeseburgers do you think you could eat in a row? Well, I've done a few actual food challenges in the past. I'm not a big eater. I am terrible at bulking. My eating in a surplus is very, very bad. I struggle to eat, you know. I'm very good at cutting. I'm very good at not eating much. And double cheeseburgers are not the thing I would choose anyway. I'm more of just a single cheeseburger. But if I had to eat double cheeseburgers, I probably could eat about 3 or maybe 4, but I'd have to starve myself before. I got another question about my TRT from New 7 Sti, and he says, are you still planning on going on TRT? Because I'm now going to be coached and be cutting for a show, TRT is not the best thing to go on, because you're not going to get the most out of it anyway. Even if the pandemic wasn't here, you know, cutting, you're trying to keep your muscle mass. You're not going to be growing much muscle, you know, on a cut. You can still grow muscle, but it's very, very tiny, you know, and it'll be a waste of time. Obviously, when you're big and huge and you're on full cycles, it probably is a lot beneficial to you. You know, you can keep building, but I don't know the extent to TRT if you can build muscle while you're cutting. I've heard that the best time to go on TRT is actually when you're either maintaining or obviously eating a lot more calories. So I wouldn't be going on it anyway. I couldn't afford that, plus the coaching, you know, plus entering shows, plus obviously living. You know, I'm only on minimum wage as it is, so yeah, I won't be on that. And also, if I'm gonna go on it, it'd be great to go on it really when I'm at my bare minimum, you know, and I've finished the show, and then I'm, you know, where I stand in physique wise, so then I can build on that. And it's meant to give you about 5 to 10 pound of muscle on a cycle, so it's just going to be better doing it then than doing it now. A message from Dan Griffin 12. He says, if you could be sponsored by 3 companies, who would it be? To be all fairness, being sponsored by any company would be brilliant. But I think nowadays being sponsored by a company all depends on what you can give the company, you know. And if they're going to be loyal to you as well. Because the way the fitness industry is now, I can see it just being very dominated for youngsters, for people who are young or have a certain look, and certain people won't fit into that category. I think it's a bit unfair because some people are so expertised in certain areas or very good, and they look at certain things like size of them, you know, what they look like muscle wise, or if they're pretty, or if they're, you know, they can look good on front of a magazine. And I think they need to look more into what they can give to the person. You know, famous people like The Rock. The Rock is an inspiration to me, and he by far gives me a lot more inspiration and than any bodybuilder, than anybody else, because he proves that he can do more than just one thing at a time, you know, and he's successful in everything he does. You know, he looks great for his age. You got to think he's coming up to 50 years old. He's probably the most famous actor at the moment. You know, he's got a bigger following than anybody else. You know, so if I was going to get sponsored, I'd be wanting to get sponsored by somebody who, like a big company, you know, like a Nike, you know, an Adidas, you know. But that's very, very, very unrealistic. But I mean, even though they're okay, I don't really think they care about people at my age. If I could get sponsored by someone like a Gymshark, it'd be great, because obviously they're a successful company. But a clothing company would be fine, so I wouldn't have to pay for clothes anymore. A supplement company, I am with a supplement company, but I don't get paid for it. I'm just like an affiliate, so I don't really get anything from it. It'd be nice to actually be asked, you know, if somebody came up to me and said, we're going to give you this and this, we're going to give you free supplements, a code, that's it. Or we're going to give you this much money a month and this, then fine. But obviously they got to make a business, they got to make money, and they want people who have got a following. There's no point offering that to somebody who doesn't have much of a following. So that's probably one of the reasons I want to do a competition as well, to basically get noticed a bit more. You know, I'm not asking for like sponsorships and that, because I'm no better than everybody else. But if you try hard and you just try your best, you never know what can happen in the future. So hopefully this year will be a year that I can see where I can go in fitness or in my life in general. I do this one together because it's from the same person. It's from Crease27, and he's asked me, do I do cardio before or after lifting? I do not do any cardio at this moment in time. My job, I walk around a lot, so I class that as my cardio. That's easy, 10,000 steps. When I was cutting, I was doing cardio when I was doing the actual workout. I didn't like going to the gym 2 times a day, because it's just, I don't see the point. You know, if you've got plenty of time to waste, then do that. But I need to do the cardio after I've done my workout, because if you can't manage a bit of cardio after a workout, then I think you need to do that cardio. I think when you work out and you're doing exercises, it's a different sort of workout compared to cardio. Cardio is completely different. Cardio is I would say a lot harder to do than a workout. I've always found out that a workout is a lot easier. I can go on for a workout for an hour, 2 hours easy. Try and do 2 hours of cardio and you will not last. And he's also asked me, how many sets and reps do I do for each exercise? At the moment, my compound movements like deadlifts, bench, and you know, anything like which is really heavy sets, I don't really do a lot of heavy sets. I'll do 1, maybe 2, but I'll do a lot of warm-up sets of lightweight. But But when it comes down to like hypertrophy and building muscle, I do at least 4 sets. I used to go from like the same weight for 4 sets, but recently I've done a heavy set at the start, just to see what I can do, keep that strength, and then get as many as I possibly can. You know, like if I can get 6, 7, that'd be fine, and then I can improve on it the next time. And then what I do is I lower it down to a working set where I can at least get 12 to 15, whatever I can, because obviously that's the bracket range, I would say, the sweet point where it's hypertrophy to build muscle, and I'll do 3 sets of that. If I'm feeling tired on the third set, the 4th set will be a burnout set, so I'll lower it down even more, and I'll just rep it out as much as I possibly can. So that's all the questions answered. Thank you very much for all of you who have basically had the time to give me a question. Hope I answered questions right. With all my goals this year, I hope I can do them. You know, I can't see me not achieving going into a show unless the pandemic, the disease, I don't know, mutates into a different one and the vaccine doesn't work. I can't see us not being at least to do stuff what we want by the summer. Job wise, obviously it also depends on what I want to do. You know, I could go and get another job somewhere else and get paid more, but would I want to, you know, work in something like a factory and have split shifts where my time would be limited with my son more, you know, because I'll be working weekends, and also it affect my training because it'd be all over the place. But what I want to do is I want to be happy. That is what I said at the start of the video. My main life goal is to be happy and be comfortable. I'm getting to that stage where I need to start thinking about security for myself, you know, not looking and thinking I can't afford stuff. You know, I want to be able to enjoy my life. You know, I know it's hard when you look at people on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that, and they've got all this luxury stuff or luxury lifestyles, going away on nice holidays. But you got to think, they've worked hard. They've worked hard for these things. They've not woke up and thought, it's a nice day. I think I'll have a lay in, and then I'll not do that, and then they basically waste that day. They will do something productive that day, and that is one of my biggest weaknesses. I am a bit lazy when it comes to like achieving things. I have the goals, but I don't do them, and this year I need to. Last year was a very tough year for all of us, and I think as soon as my show got cancelled, I just didn't want to do anything for the rest of the year. I just didn't care. You know, it was just like, well, what's the point? Can't do anything anyway. You know, I've obviously got my personal training course to finish, you know, and it's doing it as well. You know, do I want to become a coach? Do I want to struggle? I see people succeed in it, but I see people fail in it. You know, also this pandemic has killed a lot of personal trainers off, and it's a minefield, you know, competing against so many different people, you know, all these youngsters. Like I said, if you are a certain person who wants a certain image, you'll go and want to get coached by that person who looks like that because you think that you can be like that, and it's not like that. Hopefully this year is going to be a good year, not just for me but for you lot as well. And if any of you have got any questions or comments, comment down below. You know, if I've missed something out or haven't said anything. If you're new, please subscribe, because obviously this year is going to be great for you if you're wanting to learn how to cut and any tips on dieting, because I'm going to have loads, aren't I? Hopefully I can get a training session in with AJ sometime, maybe, when it's a bit more eased on the tier system. And yeah, things are looking good in that way, you know. Even if it's just one small step, you know, it's one step ahead, you know. It's better than no steps. So thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.